on, and I think the biggest thing for me that has kept me here is DeFi. I just
Mm,
love DeFi. I love what it stands for. I just it makes me even more doing the bear market, more anti-bank establishment kind of thing recently,
yeah.
because I just love how simple it is to use. And I think more importantly, Fantom is the reason why I'm with
Mm,
Fantom, and the main chain that I use is it's just so quick,
yeah.
so easy to use, and I feel like it almost makes you feel like you know your stuff because
Yeah.
it's so swift. You're clicking between protocols, you're moving and doing the bull. Like we were moving. I made a considerable amount of money at that time, where I was moving from protocol to protocol. People were chasing these APRs, these 1,000%, and
Yeah.
it was just a different world.
Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to a freshly minted Phantom Edge episode. I'm very excited to have a very special guest that I've been trying to speak to for months now, right, Geoff? But how are you, my
That's
man?
right. Yeah. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, it's great. It's finally meeting. I know we've been trying to
Yeah,
get together for such a long time, but I think we've both been busy with getting things involved with the crypto space. So it's finally we finally made it. It's been great.
the stars align now, right?
They
But no,
do,
Geoff,
yeah.
thank you so much for spending some time with me today. As you can tell, I'm very excited to speak with you, and let's get it started, man. I know you've been in the space for a while. You could tell me when you kind of get in. I think you said 2017, from what I found. But can you tell me a little bit about your start journey, right? And then, I mean, you've seen some volatility, you've seen some bear markets. What's kept you
Mm.
here? So let's start there.
Yeah, funny enough, I first heard about Bitcoin as an entity like back in maybe 2012.
Mm,
Someone come to me. I was in sort of into the tech side, and someone said, "Oh, yeah, this Bitcoin." And the truth is, I used to think he was like, these like World of Warcraft type things. I used to
mm,
think
mhm,
when these kids used to buy like Warhammer stuff, and I used to think, oh no, it's all like this internet money where they buy costumes and all that. So I wasn't interested.
mhm.
And it's about 2017. I started, getting seeing some traction. I think maybe beginning of 2017, and then I started to invest just small bits. So I think Bitcoin was probably about 3,000. I think maybe,
Mhm.
but it was great because like what was interesting was there was only maybe a few hundred tokens, coins,
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year, and people started talking about Ether, and I was like, "Oh, Ethereum is the next big thing," and I'm like, "Oh, I better get some Ether as well."
Yeah.
And then it was interesting because it kind of snowballed in 2017, didn't it? Like everyone started to sort of pick up
Yeah.
things, and ADA was a thing, Tron was a
Mhm.
thing, and I think I invested in Tron, ADA, all of these, a number of different tokens, which I sold later on, well before the bull market. But 2017 was an interesting year because people started to pick up,
Mhm.
and I bought Ether, Bitcoin. I started to do a proper investment portfolio,
Yeah.
and then you started seeing YouTube videos of these kids going, "Oh, these are my 20 top coins," and there's no project, there's no like information, no tokenomics. You just, oh yeah, these are gonna moon. And I thought, okay, but there's something going on. There's something here. But at that point, it was kind of a bit of like the Wild West. Everyone just went, just go for it. Binance. I think Binance was like I've been with Binance 2017 as well, and that was kind of everyone used Coinbase. Coinbase really started to establish themselves, and that was the onboarding. And then I thought, oh, with Binance, I felt like I was kind of in with the secret crew with Binance
Yeah.
because nobody really used Binance at that point. They were there, but they weren't as popular, say, as Coinbase doing that hype. And then 2018 came around January, and everything just crashed. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of thought, oh, okay, that was fun
Yeah.
when it lasted.
Yeah.
And I kind of lost a bit of interest for the 2018. I just sort of kept an eye on it. I could see, cracked on.
Yeah.
And then as the years went on, I just sort of really enjoyed just learning. I could see that the numbers of tokens grow. Like,
Mm.
people, I think the sort of, well, especially during 2017, people thought,
Yeah.
oh, how do you do this? How do you set up tokens? And I just think it just made it so much easier in such a quick space
Yeah.
because there was so much interest in 2017, 2018. The sort of knowledge base expanded a little bit. Twitter became more sort of helpful for how to set up your own tokens, and
Mhm.
and I just noticed, and as we said today, it's gone from a few hundred coins to like 10,000
Yeah.
coins. It's, for example, 10,000 tokens. But I just think it's what's kept me around is that intrigue. Like I've
Mm.
gone through those cycles. I went to 2017, 2018, and then
Yeah.
I moved into 2021, and 2021, as we all know, was
Mhm.
amazing. Like
Yeah.
it really was. And so, yeah, I've kept around. And I think the biggest thing for me that has kept me here is DeFi. I just
Mm.
love DeFi. I love what it stands for. I just, it makes me even more doing the bear market, more anti-bank establishment kind of thing recently,
Yeah.
because I just love how simple it is to use. And I think more importantly, Fantom is a reason why I'm with
Mm.
Fantom, and the main chain that I use is it's just so quick,
Yeah.
so easy to use, and I feel like it almost makes you feel like you know your stuff
Yeah.
because it's so swift. You're clicking between protocols, you're moving and doing the bull. Like we were moving. I made a considerable amount of money at that time. Where I was moving from protocol to protocol, people were chasing these APRs, these 1,000%, and
Yeah.
it was just a different world. And way beyond the 18s, 19s, and 20s. You're going
Yeah.
to 21, and everyone got involved.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's kept me there. Really, is
Yeah.
that intrigue of how quickly it's scaled. Like from 2017, when it was a few hundred, to we're talking 10,000 plus now. So
Yeah.
that's the big thing, really, Lewis. It's I love how it's progressed, and even up until 2021, it was 200 billion, I think, in 2017, and then it's 2 trillion at its height.
Yeah.
Just crazy progress. So yeah, super excited about it. Super excited about continuing that journey now.
Absolutely. And you know what, man, to be honest, I relate to that a lot because 2017 was when I discovered Bitcoin, right? And that's when I came in. I remember what you're talking about, 2018, same thing. I kind of had some investments there, but it dried up. It was a bear market. And I remember like it stayed quiet. And I even liquidated some of my assets because I was like, hey, I need some money. But it wasn't again until the 2021 bull, specifically NFTs, that felt that same excitement. I'm like, oh my God, I need to pay attention again. So I totally relate to that, man. And I want to talk a little bit about what you said right here. You did mention that DeFi was the thing that like you love DeFi specifically on
Mm.
Fantom. So there's like a two-part question. Talk to me about your experience with Fantom, like since the get-go. Like what has got you excited? Obviously, it's fast, it's cheap, but and then also, why was DeFi like? What was that moment that DeFi was like, oh man, like this is going to be a game changer? What was that moment like?
Do you know what the game changer was during the pandemic when
Mm.
I had some savings in a bank account, and they announced to me, "Oh, you're not going to get anything now. You're going to get 0.0000001% interest." And I had a load of savings, that particular savings in there, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to put it into Fantom. I think January 21, I think at that time, because it started to do a bull in 2020. But reading more about Fantom, and as we all know, it's all about speed. And even to this day, it still blows my mind how people use Ethereum so much, and it's so costly. It just blows my mind. Even when I bought some Pepe and it cost me 60 quid, £60 to just buy it, just craziness. And I think I've been so used to the fluidity and the cheapness of Fantom, where
Yeah.
I've probably spent, I don't think I've even spent £60 in the last year on fees.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so it was kind of like I think for me that it was getting to DeFi was the opportunity to think, oh my God, like I could take my savings, put it into, even if I didn't want to risk and high risk it, I
Mhm.
could put it in stables. I could put it in stable coins, and I could still return. And even doing the height, you would take even getting 8, 9, 10%
Mhm.
APR. Like, and that's unheard of. Banks don't offer that. No one offers that on banks. So I
Exactly.
thought, wow, that's easy life. And then I discovered then, when all doing the Tomb phases, or when Tomb Finance came out, and
Mhm.
everyone jumped onto that, it was just unbelievable that the returns were just mind blowing. And then everything obviously hit reality, and you think, okay, but even now, even during the bear, you still get great returns. I'm heavily invested in the whole Fantom ecosystem. I'm not just Fantom. I'm probably in every
Yeah.
protocol going, just because I believe in it all. I just think there's genuine interest in there.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so the DeFi was a massive, it's an exciting thing for me. I love the people outside of
Yeah.
crypto, and people just think it's they're like, well, you can make 10% interest. My
Mhm.
bank's paying me 0.0001,
Yeah.
and it blows people's minds that you can put money into something
Yeah.
and you can earn that return. Even if you don't take the highest risk, you can still get yourself 5-6% on
Yeah.
stables, which is incredible, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's why you're absolutely right, because you tell someone who probably doesn't understand crypto, has heard of it, and unfortunately I've had these conversations with buddies of mine and even on the show that the negative side of crypto takes the headlines, and it's easier
Mm.
for your mind to remember the negative black swan events, as we know, FTX,
Oh,
Terra, things like that, right? So when you talk to them, they're like, oh, you're still there, like didn't you lose a bunch of money? But they forget there's other less risky ways to experience this, like you mentioned, stables that, I mean, give you, I mean, I think the smallest return is like 4% on any stable, right? Which is
Yeah.
incredible. The bank doesn't give you, it gives you crumbs, right? And it's your money. So I think that's amazing because it's literally the essence of what DeFi represents, right? Now tell me a little bit about before we talk about across the block. I want to know what do you think, talking about that negative side of things and now how you felt when you discovered DeFi and now experiencing it, what do you think it's going to take for the public to really take crypto seriously? Is there something that you're kind of waiting for or think that could aid that process?
Yeah, I think there's a few things, to be honest with you, Lewis. I think
Mhm.
firstly is the UI experience, right? I think for you and I and the people on crypto Twitter, we call it, um, we're all kind of seasoned pros now to some degree. So these protocols are proper. We know how to navigate them.
Mhm.
You know, you got to remember, like if I look at when I use the UK as an example, there's only up when it was 2021 when they last did it, was only 6% of the UK is, that have crypto in
Mhm.
2021. So it's probably a bit more. We're still probably single digits in the UK. 66 million people in the UK,
Mhm.
and it blows my mind that we kind of we're not adopting, we're not jumping on it, we're not getting involved, and it's because, like you said, it's the bad press. It's the bad press that people just go, "Oh, Bitcoin's crashed." FTX crashed. And what's ironic about the FTX, and I want to touch on that, is that I tried to explain to people the FTX crashed because it tried to run it like your bank. It tried to run like a regular bank where they'd take people's money and go and spend it and loan it out and do what they want to do. And people go, oh, what do you mean? I said, because your bank does exactly the same thing. Like they take your money. If you go and to put $10,000 in and go, I want to get that $10,000 out tomorrow, they go, oh, wait a minute. No, you can't do that. Like give us a few days, which is, and so I think that's what's stopping, as long as the media continue to not differentiate the difference between Bitcoin and crypto and blockchain as a technology,
Mhm.
people are not going to join. People are reluctant to just jump on and on board. And I think that's one reason. And I think the other thing is probably the security and the regulation. I think even now, like, I still get a bit titchy over um, security. I just still hope someone's going to, as much as you try to
Yeah.
lock it all down as much as possible, you still see stories of seasoned guys and girls getting hacked and getting, there's so much of that going on right now. And I think doing the bear,
Yeah.
especially this last year, that it's been rife. And I think because people are bored and people are not really earning money, and so people are trying to scam whatever little money people have.
Yeah.
And that's, and like you said, that goes out to like MSN News. They go,
Yeah.
"Oof, someone's lost $1 million today,"
Yeah.
and but it's just people think it's the minority.
Mhm.
And like you say, bad news is always the biggest news because people hear the
Of
bad news
course.
first. But if you have 100 cases and 99 cases is good, everyone will hear that one
Mhm.
case that's bad, and that's the one that seems to, and crypto Twitter in particular it can be a cesspit
Yeah.
of like lies and toxicity. As soon as there's a little bit of bad news, and you've seen it, and we used to see it in Fantom doing 2021, a little bit of bad news,
Yep.
and like we just seen it with Uniswap, a bit of Uniswap. No one got their facts.
Yeah.
Oh God, I must sell. It's craziness. So I think we just need people to be a little bit more comfortable with onboarding, understand the UI interface. I think that's why Coinbase does so well to begin with. Very
Mhm.
simple. I can buy assets and that's it. But I do really want to encourage people to get into an ecosystem like, and it's like Fantom.
Yeah.
Buy your Fantom, get into the ecosystem. Spooky Swap. You've got new guys like Rego Swap. Get involved. Start adding your tokens and get involved because there's a whole new other world. I try to explain to them. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's that, and then I think it's finally it's just the regulation. But I know we kind of be blockchain and crypto, but the reality is we need regulation. We need to give people
Mhm.
that comfort that we can't have people like just completely scam you out of all your money and then
Mhm.
nobody knows about it, nobody can do anything about it.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing really, Lewis. And
Yeah.
I think it's coming. I think we certainly, in a good way, the fact that the banks are starting to talk about it in Congress and all that kind of thing is amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's plenty to do yet.
Yeah.
Still got a way to go yet.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think it definitely you've seen crypto come a long way, right? From 2017. We've seen it mature, we've seen it do its thing. And I like what you said specifically about separating blockchain, crypto, and Bitcoin. because a lot of people will put that in a bucket and be like, if one thing happens to one, if something happens to Bitcoin, that means everything in crypto and everything in blockchain deteriorates, and it's a good differentiator. Now that leads to my next question. Talk to me a little bit about Across the Block. What is it? What's the mission? Yeah, just go ahead and tell us about it.
Yeah, yeah, it goes back to my point about onboarding. I think we're all, like I said, on Twitter, we're all seasoned. We kind of know what we're doing. But I've noticed a massive, especially in the UK, there's this as this gains more traction. The more, say, for example, the Fed talk about blockchain, the government talk about blockchain, even the president coming out about crypto. This is getting people to ask questions as to why are they so fussed over crypto? Why are people so like concerned about how crypto? So to me, that's a good sign that it's starting to properly, get involved with a number of different people, and people are starting to take notice. And I think what's really missing right now, especially in the UK, is that onboarding for the real newbies, the real raw. I don't know what I'm doing. I want to know. I just want to know what blockchain is, and it goes back to what we just said, Lewis. If you said to someone, right, what is crypto? They go, oh, blockchain, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin. No, it's not Bitcoin. What's blockchain? Oh, it's Bitcoin, and that's all I get every time. So the purpose of this is I'm going to hold these courses where I get newbies and I do face-to-face and I do online and classes where I basically go in and I'll do blockchain, I'll do crypto onboarding, I'll do blockchain for businesses, and I'll do all three. So I just wanted people to adopt it. I want to educate people to say, look what you can do in DeFi. Look and we're talking to people who have, say, spare capital. I've got a few people I deal with now. They've got spare capital. They go to these wealth managements, for example. They go, oh, we give you 1% a year. Give us a little side thing at the end. But I said, look, I'll tell you what, give that to me. I'll show you how, or I'll demonstrate you how you can onboard, put it in low risk, or I'll split your risk profile. Say, this is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Put it in your Bitcoins and your Ethereums, or maybe put a bit in your Matics, or maybe go high risk Fantom, spread it out, and you earn this as a potential. This is what you could potentially earn. So it's educating people the basics really on blockchain. And then if they're keen and they're like, love it, I'm well involved with that. I want to give them a taste of the DeFi in that blockchain introduction course. And then there's going to be a group of people who go, actually, can I have the next bit? Can I go on? I want to learn how to set up my wallet. I want to know how to, hide my seed phase and understand what seed phase is and how, how the whole space works. So Across the Block's really there for just to give newbies a chance to come in and learn the basics and take that step forward, one-to-one coaching. And it's all, and to be honest with you, Lewis, I'm very heavily with, the Matics, the Fantoms, and I want to demonstrate, look, and I want to show them an example. There's Ethereum. That's how much it's going to cost you to transact on Ethereum, and that's how much it's to transact on Fantom. Honestly, I do feel like I should have a Fantom badge when I talk to people because I'm a Fantom fanboy.
I'm gonna make sure the team hears that, man. We'll send you a badge or something.
Oh, it's because it is just completely chalk and cheese. Like, I just don't understand. Ethereum is it's the old one of the oldest. But Fantom's equally as old. But how people still spend $60, $70, $80 on a transaction when I'm spending like 1 cent.
Pennies.
And so I think Across the Block is really a course that, and I've just come back from a conversation about doing Dubai again. There's certainly the Arab Emirates states now, they're all keen, and there's a massive keenness now. We all know, despite everyone on Twitter going, we're going to go to 10K and all this kind of thing. We know we're in that cycle again, and it's just a matter of time where we go back again. And we're all celebrating again in 24, 25 again. But I want, along that journey, we're at that stage, and we're trying to re-emphasize to people, we're at the beginning of that road again. So when everyone was in euphoria in 21, I want to explain to them, we're in 2019 again, 2020, we're leading into that stage. So if you want to join the ride, come on board. So yeah, I think it's needed, and I think it'll help people. So that's launching next week.
Awesome.
I'm really excited about that because I've had people to ask about it. So yeah, very excited. And it just gives me an excuse to talk about it, to be honest, Lewis, like I'm doing with you now. So
of course. No, and I think I'll be quite honest. I'm big on education. My story, I dropped out of college and I, figured out I use this word autodidacts, right? Someone who's self-taught, who learns on their own, obviously with communities or groups. But I think that this space, a lot of people do education, and I think a lot of demographics learn differently. I like your way of doing it, where you're teaching people risk management as well as like, look, Ethereum is, big, but you could also transact over here, right? And just
Mhm.
again, get exposure to different protocols. And at the end of the day, I think is the frameworks. You know what I mean? You don't want people losing money. You want people how to comfortably use this technology without being so fearful. So I commend that work, man. So go ahead.
And to be honest, like, I'm not a trader. I see these guys trade. I'm not a
Yeah.
trader. I'm a hodler. I'm a full flown. Like I've gone up and down 30, 40, 50%. And
Yeah.
I just watched this do this, especially during the bear. That was tough to watch. Like when that May hit, nobody expected that drop. So that
Yeah.
was a big reality check for me. Because at that point, I was living a dream. I was getting these interest rates, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't have to work again at this rate. And yeah, it was a stark reality. And I kind of want to educate people on that as well, around the cycles. Is
Yeah.
that, the cycles are so important that no matter what you read, just do your own educated guesses and do some sort of science towards it.
Mhm.
And I think that's really what I want to emphasize there is, just be careful. It's a risk. And as is stocks, I've done stocks for so many
Yeah.
years. It's exactly the same. But I want people to dip their toes, get involved, dip their toes.
Yeah.
That's the main
No.
thing.
No, that's great, Geoff. I commend your work. So, once again, Geoff, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. It's been exciting to chat with you. We'll do it again. As mentioned, these are short, straight to the point. It allows me to kind of go revisit my guests in the future and see what they're up to now. I look forward to speaking to you in a few months to see how Across the Block
Amazing.
is doing. But Geoff, thank you so much for sharing your whole journey with us, why you love Fantom, and what you're encouraging people to do moving forward, whether it's in a bear market, bull market, and the frameworks that you want to instill in others, so that way we could all enjoy this space and enjoy the fruits that it offers. So thank you so much,
Mhm.
Geoff. I appreciate it, my
Thank you so
man.
much, Lewis. Cheers.
Of course, we'll talk soon.
Cheers. Bye bye.